Welcome to VisWorkshop.com. We're talking about mallets today, and I endorse the Malletech Omega vibraphone, and I endorse the Malletech mallets, and I wanted to talk about some of them. Today I wanted to talk about the JC series, which is Jazz Class Classic. And that name really fits. These are beautiful sounding mallets. They just sound beautiful. And one is pretty soft, and the other one is a little bit harder. I would think these sticks, the range would be duos. You could use the JC12s, and you could even use the JC16s. But when it gets into a trio with drums or a quartet, then you're going to use the JC16s. And if the band gets really loud, you're gonna move to some other mallet. But these are really beautiful mallets, and don't forget, we have to think about mallets for playing in public and practicing. When you play in public, there's two sounds. There's the sound that you make when you play, and there's the sound that the audience hears. And when you play by yourself and you're practicing, just you. So why not have a beautiful sound? And why not wear earplugs? And if you don't have earplugs, use soft mallets. These JC12s are very soft. So let's listen to the difference between both of them. So you can hear the core is harder in here. When you play soft, it's the yarn, and when you play hard, it's the core. And the core is obviously, since these are 16s and these are 12s, the core is harder. But the sound, I'm going to play with each set for a minute. The sound is really, really beautiful, and it's just a wonderful sounding mallet. So let's check some of the sounds out. Here are the JC12s. They're great. They just sound beautiful. Standing on top of them, they sound beautiful. It's not like a lot of attack. Right off the bat, these are great mallets to practice with. They're really wonderful, and I could see a lot of instances, restaurant gigs and places where you would have these mallets. Remember, some gigs, when it's a quiet gig, you really want a quiet mallet because you don't want to. If you start hitting a little bit harder, you don't want the instrument to get too loud, or you don't want it to sound too pingy in a room where you're supposed to be quiet. I've been yelled at a few times in my career for playing in a quiet restaurant, and I've always had a set of soft mallets with me for those situations, and I know I'll just be soft the whole time. All right, let's check out the JC16s. They're great. They have an attack. You know, when you're playing with a band, you need highs. You need highs in the mallet, and these have some highs, so they will cut through. They will cut through the band and get out to the audience. If the sticks are too soft or there's too much on the low end of the sound, you might not get through a bass player, a drummer, and a guitar player. It might be really difficult to get through, but you have to these cover more of the harmonic spectrum, and I think would be great. So these are, some mallets, if you get really hard mallets, they have one purpose. These mallets, the 12s and the 16s, cover a lot of territory, and I think if you have these two sets of mallets and then one harder and then one, I call them bricks, then you're kind of covered for all musical, especially the jazz vibraphone situations. I know classical guys, they have 100 pair of mallets in their bag for every kind of thing. But vibe players, we only need a few. Jazz vibe players, we only need a few different types. Okay, I hope that was helpful.